Hey guys, so today I'm going to be looking at So That's How We Got Married stories. So yeah, let's just get right into the video. Right after our first kiss, he said, "I'm not looking to get married." "Neither am I replied. So anyway, we're married now. That's so funny. I think this eases the tension, you know? Like, you both state out what you want and what you don't want in a relationship, basically. And it all works out. Nice. Met a girl online about 20 years ago, one summer after college. Found out we live in nearby towns, so we decided to get together. Go out on a few dates. Drive by local preschool. Me, "Hey, that's where I went to preschool." Her, "That's where I went to preschool." That day, we found a preschool class photo. There we were, 2 feet from each other. A few months later, my dad finds some old footage of a Christmas play our preschool class put on. We're standing right next to each other. Happily married 16 years now. 3 awesome kids. We're very lucky. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. What? They've already met each other so many times, but they didn't know about it. That's crazy. My great-grandparents met because my great-grandfather was delivering the newspaper to my great-grandmother's house and her brother thought he was trespassing. My great-grandmother felt bad and bought him lunch. They were together for over 75 years and lived a very happy life. Nice. When we first met, his first words to me were, "I'm gonna wife you," and I scoffed. Anyways, we're married now. My dad threw a paper airplane at the back of my mom's head in college. She told him to grow up. Anyways, they've been married now for over 36 years. Wow, nice. I was flying short-haul domestic, 1.5-hour flight. I was sat next to this beautiful woman and I found myself doing the opposite of what I normally do in that situation. I made small talk with her. We chatted for the entire flight, and we both seemed to not want it to end, but end the flight did, and we parted ways without even exchanging numbers. She was a visitor to the country, and I expected never to see her again. A few weeks later, I'm boarding an international flight, and there she is on the plane, about 10 rows in front of me. After takeoff, I asked the lady next to her if she'd like to swap seats with me, as I had an empty seat next to mine. She accepted. We spent a 12-hour flight chatting again, this time a lot more deeply. Anyways, one thing led to another and we got married less than 3 months later. Whoa, they got married fast. 3 months. I mean, nice. Co-worker's boyfriend's brother came up to stay with them. "We have to have you out for dinner with him. You have a lot in common. He likes nerdy things too. You're not allowed to date him though." Definitely dated and married him. What do you mean? What? They're gonna introduce them to each other and be like, "But you're not allowed to date. Only be friends." Co-worker and now brother-in-law broke up around the time we got engaged. He's better without her. Oh, I just found out that you're not allowed to date him though is like a reverse psychology thing. You know? When someone tells you not to do something, you want to do it more. You're not allowed to get married though. He came to the door to borrow my sister's textbook. No one would answer the door, so I dragged myself out of bed and answered the door in nightgown and curlers. Hey, it was the early 80s, okay? He told me he was there to see my sister. Without a word, I nodded, turned around and screamed, "Sister!" Turned back around and said, "Family intercom system." Completely deadpan and left him standing on the porch while I went back to bed. Married me anyway. 38 years on the 21st. Oh, he went to see the sister but married her sister. Nice. Like, what if he didn't come to borrow the textbook, you know? Because there was probably a high chance he was like, "You know what, should I go there just to get a textbook?" Because this wasn't the internet days. This was in the 80s, okay? So he took a lot of effort to borrow someone's textbook. And then he met the love of his life. I met my husband when I got a new job at a grocery store. And the guy from the deli came up and yelled at me for hanging up on customers when I couldn't figure out the phone transfer process. He was that guy from the deli, and anyway, we're married now. Oh, what? I thought she was gonna marry someone who defends her, you know? She married someone who yelled at her. Nice. In 2nd grade, I was voted class favorite. Why was this ever a thing? Horrible idea for kids' self-esteem. Maybe it was a thing to get every kid to be nice, you know? To be nice to everyone. Wait, would that be like fake nice then? I mean, that's kind of good too, because if the mean kids pretend to be nice, that's kind of nice because then they won't act up in class. In the 5th grade, I remember the same guy getting called to the front of the class to write his answer on the board. He was awkward and dressed accordingly. The girl seated behind me very quietly commented, Only I heard this, but it was a humorously accurate observation. After 5th grade, I never saw him or heard from him again until we were 21. He showed up at my house to purchase a vehicle we had for sale after my dad passed exactly 1 month earlier. I only recognized him after my mum wrote his name on a receipt for purchasing the car. I reminded him of our time as class favorite, and my mum made a show of breaking out the yearbooks. Anyways, we're happily married now. Oh, these people be marrying their childhood classmates. That's crazy. I don't think I can see myself with any of them, honestly. I had a cold and went on a date to an Irish pub. I was eating bangers and mash and had the urge to cough. I tried to keep my mouth shut, but just wound up spraying his face with gravy and mashed potatoes through my pursed lips. I was still coughing, so I took a sip of my drink to soothe my throat. It was beer. The bubbles tickled my throat more. I also spat that all over his face. He stared at me in disgusted horror as gravy, mashed potatoes, and beer dripped down his face onto his shirt. I laughed and laughed and laughed, making my apologies sound very insincere. Anyways, we're married now. Goals. I want a guy like this too, you know? Like, that made them closer, you know? Like, that didn't scare him away. That was his thing. Vomit on me. Oh my gosh, that's funny though. I just love how he didn't ghost her after that, you know? Like, he seems like a very forgiving person. That's what I'm trying to say. That's very nice. I tripped and rolled down a hill, embarrassing myself in front of my girlfriend and her roommate. Anyways, the roommate and I are married now. Oh, what the heck? Hold on a second. Oh, so I guess they eventually broke up and then they dated the roommate? Wow, okay. You know that moment at church the pastor says, now stand up and say hi to someone you never met. Anyways, we're married now. Oh my gosh, oh no. That would make me anxious, you know, I can't do that. We met in elementary school. I transferred schools before high school and we lost touch. Found out we had enrolled at the same university, in the same program, once university classes started. Anyways, we're married now. Nice. Oh, wow. That's so cool. I have met a lot of my primary school friends that went to my university, but nothing happened. Met him in high school while he was hitting on my identical twin sister. Anyways, we're married now. How did he know which one he was hitting on? What if he fell for one sister and then the other sister pretended to be that sister, you know, because she liked him? Oh my gosh. Shortly after we met, he asked me, do you trust me? I said, laughed and said no. Anyhow, we're married now. Do you trust me? No. I feel like if anyone asked you that, it would normally be a no. I swiped right on someone who was the exact opposite of my type. Short, big teeth, not ambitious, really skinny. He was leaving town the morning after our date. He was a good half hour late to the date, muttered softly and was bad with eye contact. I only went on the date because I'd had really bad stuff happen to me and I just wanted one date with someone that wasn't going to lead to anything, just to feel normal. Anyway, we just had our first kid. Oh my gosh, that's nice. I do feel like it's very rare for people to marry the ideal type. I feel like a lot of people marry someone the opposite of their ideal type. Like, you know, you just have an ideal type because that's your preference for someone. But it doesn't really mean anything, you know, because you can meet someone who's the opposite but connect so well with them, and then that person becomes your ideal type. So, my brother's college roommate called me for legal advice because his crazy ex was being super crazy. Anyway, we're married now, 7 years come November, 2 kids and a house. Oh. nice, you know? Noise. Well, that's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Tell me in the comments down below what your thoughts are, and as always, thanks for watching. Hope you guys liked it, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.